Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Dishes.
Dishes who?
Dishes, the new business briefing from the Advertist. And I'm a Smith called Keith from the Fuel Podcast. And sitting beside me in our newsroom studio is Donna Smith of the Advertist. Hello, Donna.
Hello, Keith.
And shortly we'll be joined by business research analyst Vic Houghton. In each show, we bring you about 10 minutes of news, insight, people moves and market reports on one of 24 different sectors, all designed to help you in the new business community stay informed and at the top of your game. The clock is ticking, the bell is rung, so let's get going with the new business briefing brought to you by new business development platform, The Advertist. Well, we picked a doozy of a sector to cover this time around. It's up, it's down, it's good, it's bad, which is what makes it such an interesting subject, because our topic for this show is...
the retail sector.
Yes, and in a few minutes, beaming in live from London is our great friend, desk research wizard and qualified librarian, Mr. Vic Houghton. Right, so let's dive in with a couple of recent news headlines from the world of retail that will be of interest to the business development community. Where to start? Well, let's turn those frowns upside down with some retail positivity. The convenience sector experienced a seismic shift in 2020, driven largely by the headline impacts of the pandemic, a new report reveals. Retail property company Christie & Co.'s annual Business Outlook report, Business Outlook 21, Review, Realign, Recover, shows there was a large rise in convenience store footfall, particularly within local and independent stores as consumers stayed at or closer to home. And the result was a significant improvement in the operational performance of many businesses. This caused a 19% increase in transactional activity in 2020, and the report suggests there will be a long-term and sustainable bounce from COVID-19, which could see about a 10% rise in convenience sales across the sector compared with pre-COVID levels. Market predictions for the year ahead include: in terms of companies buying into the market and wanting a piece of the C-store action, demand will continue to outstrip supply, leading to some highly competitive bidding for stores and sites. And in addition, the garage forecourt sector has remained resilient in 2020, and while fuel sales dropped, shop sales increased, so keep an eye on those petrol station owners such as Applegreen, Eurogarage and Motor Fuel Group. Now, I also want to talk about a pivot, or should that be a pigot, with Moonpig showing the way for traditional greeting card retailers looking for digital solutions, because that company has just launched a 1.2 billion stock market flotation. Watch out for some cool hybrid ideas from rivals, such as celebratory products that work in virtual environments such as Slack, Teams, Zoom and the like. Okay, that's enough from me. Let's hear from the sensible one of the team, Donna, who's hopefully got some interesting details of, well, what have you got, Donna?
The biggest news story of the moment is leading online fashion retailer ASOS announcing its acquisition of Topshop, Topman, and Miss Selfridge brands as it looks to accelerate its multi-brand platform strategy. The company plans to transition around 300 employees across design, buying, and retail partnerships. ASOS has recently made a number of new appointments, including Melissa Reeve as Global Head of Brand Management and Nathan Stower as Head of Public Affairs. Reeve previously held the role of Global Brand Strategy Lead for ASOS, while Stower joined from Virgin Atlantic, where he was Head of Government Affairs and Sustainability.
Thanks for that, Donna. Now, for all this and a lot more, including tenders, mergers, acquisitions, funding, and the UK's best contact database, you'll need to subscribe to The Advertist, which you can do for less than the price of a mobile phone bill every month. Subscription details can be found at www.theadvertist.com or email us at hello@theadvertist.com. Now we cross over to Vic Houghton, our desktop research lead, who's put together some great nuggets of intel to help make you useful. Hello, Vic. How are you, mate?
Hello, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm very well. Now, we've just been talking about how local shopping has become an interesting area for growth, but can you give our listeners some good little anecdotal research so they can drop into conversations with their retail prospects?
Yes, of course. Well, the inevitable shift to e-commerce over the last year has slightly overshadowed one of the most important trends in retail, which is the rise of local. Consumer behaviour specialist Canvas H noted that the pandemic promoted social cohesion during this time of uncertainty, encouraging a move towards more local food buying behaviour. 80% of people feel more connected to their community. 35% said they had bought more food locally more often. During the early days of the pandemic, the Financial Times reported on the idea of the 15-minute city developed by one Professor Marino at the Sorbonne in Paris. The 15-minute city means one's daily urban necessities are within a 15-minute reach on foot or by bike. Work, home, shops, entertainment, education and healthcare should all be available within the same time a commuter might once have waited on a railway platform. Of the variety of benefits associated with having everything you need within reach, the most referred to are less travel, a more personal service, shops and services being more attuned to local people, and the boost to local economies. Plus, the health of local high streets is a key factor in people wanting to stay in their neighbourhoods. According to Britain Thinks, the urge to support local retailers is arguably driven by need, gratitude and compassion. To quote Matt Parry of the Future Collective, the butcher, the baker, the artisan coffee maker, our high streets have responded to the local demand and desire for human sacrifice, becoming a force for good. And there's a lot of data to show how people are responding. 57% of Britons surveyed around the start of the pandemic said they were more likely to shop with brands that were supporting their communities, according to consultancy EY. And a recent report from Kantar found that 65% of UK consumers believe that local shops are important to the community. Britain spent a record-breaking £1.1 billion on Small Business Saturday, with 48% saying it was a deliberate decision to support the local economies after a difficult year. Expect to see the effects on non-grocery retail too. 55% of fashion executives believe a localised brick and mortar experience will be a top theme in the coming year. As the pandemic kept people within these 15-minute cities, corner shops experienced substantial growth. YouGov found that 23% of Britons used corner shops more since the pandemic, and a survey conducted by PayPoint finds that 56% of people went to the local convenience store for the first time during lockdown, and 50% increased the frequency of their visits. These shops have come to be more than just a place to buy goods. As noted by Canvas 8, 71% of people think that their local convenience store is an integral part of their community, and 66% say it is a positive impact on the local area. The pandemic has complicated the weekly shop for those in rural areas, especially at a time when delivery slots are few and a big supermarket is far away. Countryside dwellers have a struggle to source ingredients. We see brands reacting, such as Cost Cutter with village pop-ups, their stock tailored to local wants and needs. 26% of rural customers know the people working in their local shop quite well. Something to look out for, the rural population is only 16% of the UK total. Yet in 2020, Savills saw 90% of its agents reporting increased demand for rural home locations. If more people are anticipating working from home, then there's little incentive to live close to the office when online ordering and a more robust rural retail environment exists. Finally, to underline the place that local retail has in our hearts, Trajectory's Enlightening Sentiment Tracker, the Optimism Index, shows satisfaction in various aspects of life falling since 2011, particularly life as a whole, social life, family life and leisure time. Only satisfaction in their neighbourhood or local community has remained steady across all demographics. Indeed, even YouGov noted that 40% of Britons feel their community has become stronger.
Wow. So maybe we'll start witnessing High Street 2.0 when all the artisanal retailers experience a renaissance, eh?
That would be good, wouldn't it?
I can't wait. Well, fabulous stuff, Vic. Thank you very much. And if anyone listening wants to get a hold of you, how do they do it?
Email me at victor.houghton, that's HOUGHTON, at vhinsights.com.
Fantastic. And before you go, I've got to ask, how's little Rex's training coming along?
2 steps forward, 1 step back, and a nip on the ankles.
Good stuff. All right. Thank you very much, Vic. We'll see you again soon, where we'll be covering the charities sector next. So look forward to talking to you then. All the best, Vic. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
And our thanks to Vic Houghton. And that wraps it up for this edition of the New Business Briefing, brought to you in association with the new business development platform, The Advertist. Until next time, bye-bye.